Welcome everybody to the GameItAll.com podcast. My name is Lucas Grimm,
Hey, I'm Pino25.
I'm Yanderes.
and this is the podcast for January 22nd.
Yeah, well, what?
Yeah, we're already a month into 2016. That's pretty amazing so far. Seems to have gone really quick.
Welcome everybody to the GameItAll.com.
Whoa, what the flying fuck is going on here?
Pino25.
What did you do?
I don't know.
What did you do?
I had the live stream up already.
And you know what? Next, in a couple weeks, 4 in February. You pumped?
4 for February. I am pumped. I'm pumped.
I am
Because
super pumped.
I am going to beat several fucking games this time.
Do it.
I have to beat these games. I'm ready to announce which games I'm going to be playing, too.
Yeah, that's why I'm playing short games.
Yes, kind of same here. Well, one of them's not very short, but I'm almost done it, so part of the rules for February is that you just do it and get rid of it.
Am I missing something?
Oh, you don't know what 4 for February is?
No.
Okay, 4 for February is something that started with Joystick. Joystick did this thing where, like, 2 years before they shut down, that...
Well, no. They merged.
They shut down. They actually did shut down Joystick. They just went to Engadget after. But Engadget was already part of their parent company.
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. Anyways, we'll move on. So something that they started before they closed down, that you pick 4 games for February and you beat them in February.
Yeah.
So these are games that you've been trying to beat. You've been focusing a lot, but you just couldn't get through them. This is a time to nail down that you are going to beat these games.
Or you bought them and never got around to it.
Exactly.
I got plenty of those, yeah.
So that's what originally was for, is because everyone has a giant Steam freaking
Library.
And
It's called.
For me, I have a PS4 library that's been adding up. And this time, I'm ready to pick mine. Batman Arkham Knight, definitely on that list. I'm so close to beating it. I just need that. Sit down, get through it, finish it.
Yeah.
Also, Transistor from Supergiant Games. Love the game. Never could get past the halfway point. I'm going to sit down, play through that. I need to finish it. Such a lovely game. Speaking of which, that is actually on sale on the PSN flash sale right now. So that is like less than $5, I think it is. I haven't actually seen the price.
It's pretty cheap.
Pretty damn cheap, so definitely pick it up.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. The other one that I'm doing is Earth Defense Force 4.1, which we are actually playing on Noobs Play next week. So it's going to be fun to see the noobs go through and get each other killed.
Oh, Earth Defense. I haven't seen Earth Defense in a long time.
But then the new one is amazing. I'm actually working on the review, even though it's like a few months old. Now that I've actually been playing it, I'm going to sit down and do the review for it.
Yeah.
And the last one that I'm doing, actually that's the one I haven't decided on. I don't know which one I'm going to actually fully play through, because there's also a few games coming out in February that I want to play through as well. What's probably going to happen is probably going to be Soma, honestly. I really need to finish that, especially since, I have people that tried to spoil it within the last week or two.
It's definitely a good game. I read something recently about Soma, actually. Apparently, somebody removed the terror aspect of it, like
the fact that
you can't die. Yeah, they couldn't kill you. I didn't fully read the article because I was falling asleep at the time, but apparently the gist of what I got was that the game is somehow scarier because they couldn't kill you.
That's weird to hear that.
It definitely was, but it's worth looking into if you're interested.
Yeah, but it makes it more of a psychological mindfuck.
Yeah.
So, any idea what you would have, or you want to wait till next week to since you're just hearing about this?
Well, I had sort of just finished one, so I'm gonna have to pick up a lot of new ones. I should probably finish the storyline at least for Black Ops. This is the first time I picked up an FPS and didn't actually finish the story mode first, so I kind of let it sit there.
I have a gripe with Black Ops story, honestly. Honestly, it's good. Like it's not a bad story. But it takes you. There's 10 levels to go through, right? It takes you 7 of those levels to get to the actual shit that's going on. That's actually interesting. Once you're at the 7th level, then it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. But it takes you that long just to get there.
So you're telling me 60% of the game is crap?
60% of the story mode is crap, yes.
Okay, awesome.
Luckily, there's 2 other game types altogether with it, so that's not too bad.
The nightmare mode, however, that is actually pretty cool. I've been enjoying that.
But like Activision said, like they stated, their single player experience is only worth $10.
True. That's true.
So you're only really losing $6 worth of content. Awesome.
Even then, like for a first-person shooter, there's not that many with a great storyline anyway, so the bar's not that high.
No, that is very true.
But yeah.
And what was yours, Pino?
What was my theme? It was underrated games.
Underrated games.
Yes, underrated games that are awesome. First one that I'm playing, Saboteur, last game from Pandemic that they released, and then they went kaboof under.
Those guys are awesome.
Frickin' EA. Next up is Singularity, and FPS by Raven.
And that is one of the exceptions to a good story in FPS.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And next up, a game that deserves a lot more praise, Alpha Protocol from Obsidian. Because, you know, it's Obsidian.
See, what people didn't understand about that is that the mechanics in the game was very pen and paper.
Yeah, well, it's very...
Somebody's got a
what's
double
that?
feed.
Yeah, I think it's Luke. You need to wear headphones.
Oh, well, fuck you guys. Well, anyways, this is probably better now, right?
Is it? Oh.
Is it? It is.
It's a lot like it's too complicated for people. That's the problem with Alpha.
That's probably actually the best way to explain it.
Because it was kind of like System Shock or Deus Ex, that it came out and people were like, and then the more they played it, the more they went, holy shit, this is amazing. So,
True.
we'll go with like that. So.
A high learning curve, basically, right?
Pretty much. And my fourth game is whatchamacallit, Tim Schafer. Brutal Legend.
That's definitely
Yes.
a good one. I beat that a long time ago, and I still love it.
Because people were like, oh my god, it's an RTS.
I did have a hard time with the RTS part. I mean, that was just, you know, I was so used to the Zelda.
Yeah,
You need a keyboard and mouse to play it.
I played it on the 360, but the first time you're thrown into the RTS, I had trouble getting the concept. But like once you actually like, oh, okay, this is how it works, then the rest of the game is just fine. Just a lot of people made a mountain out of a molehill, and the game suffered. Like the game's reputation suffered for it.
Yeah. So, well, whatever. We'll play it again.
Okay, so let's start with some news here in this case.
All right,
And-
let's do this.
Yeah, so one of the big things that happened today was that Twitch actually added a new game to its banned list. And the latest game to get added to the band is Yanderes Simulator. So this is a in development PC action game where you play as a schoolgirl, a Japanese schoolgirl, who stalks and kills her fellow classmates.
Don't be confused. It could be John Deere Simulator.
John Deere.
It's sounds very fucked up. All I can really think from the art style and from what I can see of the screenshot, it kind of makes me feel like Killer is Dead, something from Suda.
Art style, okay, yes, I definitely get that. I haven't played the game personally. I have seen people play it, and ironically enough, on Twitch. But what it was more like was
there's an anime called Mirai Nikki that actually
it was supposedly played more like the Hitman series, and you could just go around like killing other players in brutal, but sometimes really brutal ways. Actually, from what it looked like, it would be interesting to see, like to try.
Honestly, though, I feel like I know exactly why they banned it, because right now America has a really big problem with murders at schools, and that's exactly what this game is.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
So it may be a thing in Japan, but it's extremely tasteless in North America, especially around these times.
Okay, yeah.
That
actually makes
true.
sense. I don't really blame them then.
Yeah.
Now the developer is a little upset about the information. I will have the letter that they wrote, but they actually sent Polygon an email stating about what's happened. It's just they are talking with Twitch to find out why everything's going on, because Twitch just said, no, this game is now banned. So it actually joins, and I'll give the list here. It joins games such as Artificial Academy 1 and 2, Battle Rape, DMX Triple X, Cobra Club, Criminal Girls, Dramatical Murder, Grezzo 1 and 2, Honey Pop. I can't pronounce this one. Kamidon Alchemy Meister, Prulin to Curlo, Rape Lay, obviously. Rinse and Repeat, which I remember that one. That was the shower simulator game.
A lot of them sound like they're either porn or sexual violence based.
No, hands down my favorite one, What's Under the Blanket.
Yeah, What's Under the Blanket? I have to look that one up now. That sounds interesting. Second Life, Sakura Slim Club, Sakura Fantasy, Sakura Spirit, Sakura Santa, Sakura Beat 1 and 2, Sakura Angels. That's a lot of Sakuras.
Does it relate to Sakura
and
War?
now Yandere Simulator. And also added onto that list is Manhunt 2 Uncut, Fahrenheit, Indigo Prophecy, and Hatred.
Indigo Prophecy?
Indigo Prophecy is censored. The director's cut. Fahrenheit.
Yeah, the director's cut is pretty.
I didn't play that one, so I guess there's probably something in there I don't know about.
The director's club director's cut has freaking necrophilia in it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Moving on, but yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one actually plays out, especially where the developers actively trying to figure out the reason why. Hopefully Twitch does explain it, because nothing sucks more than being told that you're just banned for no reason. Like, if they actually still tell you the reason why, then I'd be like, okay. Like, are you banned for the violence, for any sexuality?
Yeah, makes sense.
It sounds like from the email, that like the bit that I've read, that he is willing to make some changes. So we'll see. It's hard to say.
Pretty much.
But
let's move on to. Okay.
Go ahead.
Just as last thought, I feel though that it may be hard for him to make a change at this point because so many people already have the game that if they allow it, how could they moderate between a fixed version and the current version?
That is true. That is true.
And
So that's an uphill battle for him.
Yeah.
and it makes me come back to like Manhunt 2 on the Wii. That shit was fucked.
Let's not talk about Manhunt 2. Like, that's such a disappointment. Anyways, let's talk about Don't Nod's point-and-click adventure game, Life is Strange. That came out officially on disc this week.
Yes.
And, of course, everyone's been enjoying it. But there's actually a special mode now, or special addition to the game, since it's been released. And that is a director's commentary. So this is actually a DLC that's for free, that's been given to, directly on disc for the Life is Strange game. And for anybody who's downloaded the game as it was going on, you also get this for free. It's part of an update, free update. So that's actually a really cool feature.
Yeah.
Now, the actual full case actually came with a soundtrack, art book, and the director's commentary.
Yeah, you get a ton of awesome stuff for like $30 or $40. It wasn't
Yeah.
that expensive.
Not very expensive at all. $30 from GameStop.
Yeah, so well worth it
Yeah.
for all the extras.
It's pretty interesting, especially if you're interested in game development, like to have somebody walk you through stuff they did while making the game, while you're playing it.
Yeah, exactly. It's always really cool to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we also I forgot where I'm going on that one. Woo!
Legend of Zelda.
We're at Legend of Zelda now. So, Twilight Princess HD is coming to the Wii U sometime very soon.
March 4th.
March 4th, yeah.
I have mine pre-ordered.
Awesome. So, what happens if you put amiibos into the game?
It should work.
It should work. So, there are several beneficial amiibos that you can actually use. Like, it said that Link and Toon Link will refill your arrows. Zelda and Sheik will have healing effects. One of the biggest one is Wolf Link, which comes in the special edition of Twilight Princess HD.
Oh, yeah.
Which will give you an extra dungeon. And that will give you a wallet that will hold 9,999 rubies and apparently new armor as well.
So, essentially, these amiibos are essentially like cheat codes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. These are cheat codes for your game. Now,
which are expensive.
Now, this is what happens when you put Ganondorf, the Ganondorf amiibo, into the game. Everything in the game will deal double damage.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ganondorf is the opposite of a cheat code. He is the one that's going to fuck you over.
Yeah, but that's kind of awesome.
That is great. Personally, that's...
Because
not necessarily like I wouldn't call it the opposite of a cheat code, more like hard mode.
Yeah,
hard
well,
mode.
Nightmare mode, and
Yeah.
it's essentially it turns Legend of Zelda into kind of like Bloodborne
The Legend of
or Demon
Bloodborne.
Souls. The Legend of Demon Souls. Just
The
a
Legend of
fucking
Demon Souls. Jesus.
Legend of
That's
Souls.
horrible.
But yeah. So
Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. You know, they're all the same game, really.
yeah, from Software.
They're all from software, yeah. Yeah, so Ganondorf will make the game harder. That is amazing. Because I'm assuming everyone will probably keep trying all the different amiibos just to see what would happen. And, of course, they put him on, everyone's going to get double damage.
So if I put like Mr. Game & Watch, is my screen just gonna turn black?
I don't know.
If
I
it
don't
would
think
go
anything's going to happen with Game and Watch. I think
Or-
it has to be
Zelda related, yeah.
because I remember Operation Steam that came out for
The
3DS.
yeah.
It was made by the guys that did Fire Emblem. So Roy, Marth, the amiibos that were based on Fire Emblem, if you hit them, and it will carry those characters into the game. And then you have Roy and Marth as playable characters in a third-person shooter, the strategy game.
I don't know.
Operation Steam was a weird game.
My
It was a
brain
lot of fun,
hurts.
though. So, do you want to know one of my favorite games on the PS3 that a lot of people probably pushed aside? Tokyo
Oh, yeah.
Jungle.
The most messed up game ever.
I didn't hear what you said because everybody started robot voicing.
Oh, nice. Well, it was Tokyo Jungle.
Doesn't
Tokyo
ring a bell.
Jungle played a game where all the humans in Tokyo just suddenly disappeared, leaving their animals to fend for themselves. The world grew over. You started off as a Pomeranian. You had to go run around, get food, breed, level up, and then over time you'll get to unlock other characters and other animals.
Post-apocalyptic animals.
Post-apocalyptic animals had to run away from lions that were going to eat you, the bigger predators. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good game. So Sony might be in consideration of making a brand new Tokyo Jungle game.
Good. They're not making an HD remake thing.
It's still up in the air. According to, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, Masaki Yamaguya?
Unforgivable. Seppuku for you.
So he wrote on Twitter saying that we had a meeting about Tokyo Jungle after a long time. I'm with Tokyo Jungle's main members, director Katasoka and Suga Uno. I have a hard time pronouncing these, and if I ever meet them, they are going to sass me or say. So he was the original. Anyways, the one that written the tweet was the original director of the game. They want to make something. They got all together. They want to make something. This sounds like it's going to be a Tokyo Jungle sequel. However, we're still up in the air. We don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Mm.
Even if it's if something does happen, it's not a guarantee it'll be an actual sequel too. Sometimes it's a spiritual successor. Like maybe they had another idea to follow up with that. So
Yeah.
it's up in the air, but be hopeful. See what happens.
Oh yeah, extremely hopeful because the original was great. I would love to play through that. Even if it is a remake, I would be happy with that because it would just be a lot of fun.
I'm going to assume that's another game you're going to stream soon.
Oh, well, once I get the actual computer to do the actual.
Oh, right, yeah, true.
Because right now I'm just basically using the basic gear from PlayStation.
Okay.
But yeah, once I do have everything set up, then yes, we'll definitely have that streamed.
Once you get the basic hardware, just let you know, and I'll try to help you get the software set up.
Okay. So that's all I have for that one. And I've mentioned this before. I'm not a huge fan of visual novels. I hate to say that because there's a lot that are really good. Say Steins Gate, the Zero Escape series, like Nine Doors, Nine Persons, 9 Hours.
Yep.
And its sequel, Virtue's Last Reward.
But this is the exception.
This one is the exception. Danganronpa. Such a fucked up little story and game.
It's adorable.
I'm excited to say that it is coming to Steam. both Danganronpa 1 and 2 will be coming to Steam. Danganronpa 1, Trigger Happy Havoc, will be available next month in February. Meanwhile, number 2, Goodbye Despair, is sometime along the line. There has also been rumors that the PS Vita exclusive Danganronpa Other Story will be available later on, which was a third-person shooter. That's the only one I missed, honestly.
Yeah.
But it looked great anyways. Such a fucked up little game. I loved it like every minute of playing it. Anybody want to add anything on that one?
I'm not familiar enough to add anything, so I heard good things about it, but I know nothing about it.
If you're looking for it on the Vita, it's hard to find.
Yeah, it is rare to find on the Vita right now. Speaking of Steins Gate, which, as I heard, is another really good one, that is on sale as part of the flash sale as well for $16.
The anime of Steins Gate was really good, though. I've seen it.
Apparently the actual visual novel is 20 times better.
Okay.
From what I've been told, once again.
Okay. Awesome.
Now, one game that we are all excited for, I know this, is The Division. Ubisoft's latest Tom Clancy MMO shooter that's apparently, from what I've been told from a lot of people who were in the alpha, plays similar to Destiny. I was surprised to hear that. Of course, I don't know that part exactly from hand. That's all that somebody has told me. But anyways, we're actually going to get a chance to actually try this though very soon, as the beta is opening up very soon. In fact, it is going to be starting on January 29th.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be first for the Xbox One, and then later for the PS4.
1 day later?
It's about 2 to 3 days later.
No, it says the 28th for the Xbox, and the 24th for the Xbox, and the 28th, the 29th for PC and PS4.
Yes, I missed it. Yeah, I saw it. I knew I had it written down. Anyways, Division is going to be launching on March 8th, 2006, and like I said, I'm excited for it. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and given how I've been really into the realistic shooters lately, which I have no idea why, it's definitely piquing my interest right now.
He's become a follower of the death screen.
Yeah, I enjoy actually getting a few good shots in now and then. But yeah, Division. The Division actually has a really good story to it, which is why I'm kind of excited to see, because it's all about people spending money and passing their disease through. Like, they sneezed on their money and gives you it during Black Friday, and it spreads this super flu and kills you all.
I don't know. I'm still skeptical.
Skeptical that it's not going to happen, or is that it's going to be a bad game or good game?
About the bad game. I've been burned how many times at Ubisoft?
Yeah, that is true.
For me, it was the comparison to Destiny, because Destiny now is a good game.
All right.
But the first, I played it almost the entirety of the first year, and I would have kept playing if they would have made their changes sooner. But I burned out, and I'm afraid that the game is gonna feel like that. Like, I'll play a few months straight, and then I don't ever touch it again.
Yeah, that is a worry. That is definitely a worry. I'm just hoping that what happens is that they treat the Division similar to what they have with Rainbow Six so far.
Yeah.
Because Rainbow Six has had its problems. I'm not gonna lie. There's been server problems and matchmaking problems that it kind of makes me worried about the division. But at the same time, they've been working on it on a steady matter and actually doing a lot of good, a lot of damage to the bugs. And also with the fact that everything for content based on it, it has been free. So we're getting the first pack very soon, and that's going to be free to everyone. Although Season Pass people will get it 2 weeks early.
It seems that Ubisoft, like since the Syndicate onward, they've been trying really hard about making sure shit works. Really.
Yeah. Well,
like
yeah,
since Syndicate, I haven't
how
like really heard anything bad about them.
Oh yeah, and it's mainly, as I was mentioning, it's mainly because of Unity. Unity really hurt their image.
Yeah.
So now they're coming back. They're fighting it back, and they're doing what I've already mentioned on the podcast before. My theory between EA and Activision, like usually one will start going down, the other one will start rising, and then one releases a bad game, and then the other one starts realizing, okay, here's the good games coming back, and then
The power shifts. Yeah.
The power shifts. Ubisoft doesn't really fall in that line. They've always been at a constant middle ground.
Yeah, they do
Then they
good
start
and then they
picking
do
up
bad.
again. They start picking up a little bit, and then Unity happened, and it went.
Yeah.
And then they started picking that right back up. Like, everything from Syndicate upwards has just been steadily improving the company again.
I just have a feeling that I'm gonna be disappointed, like, well, underwhelmed, like Watch Dogs.
Yeah, that's the other worry, because there's always the curse of the Ubisoft curse where the first game is underwhelming.
Yeah, and okay, don't get me wrong, I have 3 copies of Watch Dogs, but I'm a sucker for a sale. But yeah.
So let's talk about a game we're not going to be getting. DOA Extreme Volleyball 3 in Japan and China has been delayed for further polishing. I feel like that is a horrible headline, honestly. Exactly.
There's your QA.
There's your PR or HR.
Yeah, just to make sure that it's nice and smooth.
And
Are they adding VR to it?
There is VR in some form in the game. We don't know how that's going to work. There's been no announcement of it. So somewhere, somehow, PlayStation VR is going to be part of DOA Volleyball Extreme 3.
Basically, you're going to be first-person view, and your field of view is going to be like this.
And you're just gonna walk around looking at titties.
You're gonna try.
Your own, basically. I mean, those things are enormous.
I know people who would actually probably try this, and they're probably going to try the motorboat.
Bad.
I mean, come on. If you're going to have VR, you might as well try it. I mean, why not?
The things Luke thinks about on his own.
Pretty much. But yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Keep going with it.
Okay. Well, I was going to move on because that's really all that we have with that game. Because really, that's all that we can really care about. We're not going to be getting the game.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but that rolls into our topic for next week of talking shit.
It does. When we do the Talking Shit podcast, which is actually going to be the official title of the podcast, mind you, Talking Shit.
And our first episode, the title is...
Whoa. Surprise. That's a surprise.
It relates to VR.
it does relate to VR. We will say that's going to be our topic of next week. So let's talk about the Pokemon competition / partner Yokai Watch, the game from Level 5, the guys behind Dark Cloud and Ni no Kuni and all that other stuff. The anime was brought over to North America and surprisingly has done very well. Now, both the game and anime has done very well, I should actually mention, as Viz Media announced plans to actually release it on a global scale thanks to the successful run in the United States.
That's cool.
It was very popular on Kids Channel, and Viz was really happy with it. It premiered on Disney XD, so that's probably what helped it, honestly.
Yeah. Final full remarks for that. Nintendo's winning.
Oh yeah, Nintendo wins out of that.
Like, Nintendo's just printing money. So, people bitch about Nintendo, but they print money.
They do.
They print money, but they also lose money. Like they kind of balance out, so it's not a total win. Because they lost a lot of money on the Wii U.
Either way, they've actually done insanely well with the series because like they have Pokemon and Yokai Watch on the 3DS. That's really selling the game, honestly.
Well, yeah, that's kicking Sony right in the face for mobile.
Yeah, well, Sony's pretty much at this point given up.
I don't really blame them.
So, let's talk about something I actually already mentioned was already started this part of the conversation. But EA is hoping to change everyone's perception of how they feel about them.
That's a big mountain to climb.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big mountain to climb because everyone EA is the devil of video games. They've screwed up like everyone's favorite titles like Battlefield and Mass Effect. They shut down other studios that were doing really great and all this other stuff. The thing is, they are running a business, but at this point in time, as I mentioned, they are also on the incline at this point. Now, they want to change everyone's perception of how everyone looks at EA. So this was from EA's CEO Andrew Wilson, who was speaking at the BC Tech Summit in British Columbia, and he was saying, this is what he said: if you understand the video game business, EA, the branding is this corporate beast that just wants to make money from them while people play our games. I feel like that was worded weirdly, but you know what? That's how it was written out. And that's actually not what they're trying to do. They've been named worst company in America by Consumer Affairs multiple times just for being greedy related to microtransactions and other things. So they've been really trying to beat that. And to be honest, worst company in America over banks that were shutting down veterans' homes? Come on. What the fuck, guys? Just because SimCity didn't launch properly at launch.
I think part of that has to do with that most people that care more about banking generally aren't quote-unquote online activist oriented. So when people are pushing that sort of stuff on public forums or whatever, chances are you're going to get attacked more if you're a company that targets a younger based audience, like an under 30.
Yeah, pretty much. So they are going to be working, like, they are trying to be progressive with their games now, which is why they're trying to push the EA Access system, where they are releasing some of their games for a monthly subscription, similar to a like Netflix Crackle style system. But at the same time, they still have an uphill battle. Honestly, that's the big problem. They have to fight that fact that people don't like their company, and it's pretty much out of complete bias.
It didn't help them any that there were already like towards the I don't know how to word this, like towards the prime of all that hate. Like obviously it's been dying down over the last few years, but as that was building up, they did nothing to really try to quell that. They really made it look like they don't care that people are angry at them, and just kept doing things. So that kind of like stays with people. So it's going to be hard for them to try to change that.
Pretty much.
It's going to be really difficult.
And also, Battlefront didn't help.
Nope.
Yeah,
Not at all.
Honestly, guys, like this is going to be if any. I doubt anyone from EA is actually watching this podcast. This is what I would suggest as a gamer, one-on-one kind of deal. If you're making a game that's going to have season pass content, price it accordingly. People don't really want to pay another game on top of their, like, just for DLC. Like, I'm looking at Battlefront for that one. $60 for a season pass is pretty ridiculous. We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Aside from that, listen to what other gamers want. Despite, a ravaged group of people saying, like, yelling stuff that they want in the game would normally not work. Sometimes there is some good ideas hanging out in there. Listen to what they want.
It's definitely hard to listen to the people that yell, because it's almost always the extreme ends. Like, you want to find the medium group, cut off both ends like 20%, and the group in the middle is usually the ones that have the more balanced responses as to what's working and what's not.
Pretty much.
Exactly. That's all we have for the news today, and we still have a little bit of time on the podcast. That's actually kind of amazing. Actually, so I want to talk about a couple things that happened, because this has been a very amazing week for Game It All, honestly. We actually had Atlas send us a copy of The Deadly Tower of Monsters. And that review is up on the website right now. Great game, and since the review is out, I can say we gave it a 7.2. It is read the review definitely to see what I mentioned on it. Great game. Pretty much all I'm going to say. Read the review, damn it. We also had 2 screeners for movies sent to us, which was kind of amazing too. Our movie guy, Brandon, has done very well and reviewed these 2 movies. The first one being, Oh My God, We're in a Horror Movie.
Awesome.
A horror comedy in the veins of Scary Movie, in a way. Or more towards Tucker and Dale versus Evil, where it's actually a more sensible comedy. It's feel weird saying sensible comedy like that.
I have not watched that in years. I gotta rewatch it.
And the other one was Death in the Desert, which stars Michael Madsen in a true crime thriller. So yeah, that was awesome, and it's been really great to see those come through. I definitely thank the studios that sent those to us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Plans for the upcoming week?
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
You didn't answer my question.
I didn't
What
hear
is
it.
happening next week?
No, I said, do you have any decent plans for the next week?
Oh. I didn't. I thought you said something else.
Yeah,
Your
I figured.
microphone was so fucking low. I thought you said something else. Live podcast, everyone.
What is happening next week?
So next week we have talking shit.
Yep.
Our first ever talking shit podcast. We like to do that at least once. We're going to try to do that at least once a month.
And also it's going to be a very uncensored, true to itself podcast.
Oh, exactly. I mean, it's a show called Talking Shit.
There you go.
Like, if we ever get bigger than what we are, and we have like animated versions of our podcast, I want it to be two talking turds talk to each other.
The two talking turds and the turd sandwich walks into the room.
Horrible. But yeah.
Yeah, what else is there?
So, and also next week, speaking of Earth Defense Force, a little earlier, throwback to earlier, Noobs Play. We have two new noobs joining us, and we'll be all playing cooperative Earth Defense Force 4.1. And I can't wait to see them fail. They're going to fail. I'm going to make sure that the difficulty is boosted up when they go in, and we are going to get them killed.
Awesome.
Meanwhile, I'll be starting a new review on a relatively new game, Undertale, because I was morbidly curious as to why it was good and not good at the same time, and it's really interesting.
It's purgatory.
Yeah. See, I had this thing I wanted to mention on this, but I'm not sure.
Now.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't mean this in a way that I'm overpraising or shitting on. I mean, the game has mixes and matches because it's got a lot of backstory on how it was made and like the different indie things compared to like these AAA games. But I played it a certain way. It became pretty much my favorite game of all time because of how attached I got to these characters. Obviously, a lot of people did not, and I explored as to why that did too. So it's really interesting why there's such a divide online between the game.
I can probably answer one part of that, and that is mainly because this is going to, and actually I'm going to say this is actually what happens with a lot of games.
The fan base?
The fan base, yeah. The fan base kills it a lot of the times.
They
look what happened during Game FAQ's Best Game Ever award that they do every year, and that beats out like Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time as one of the best games ever. It to me, especially like where I have watched, I haven't played Undertale, but watched it. I'm more on the fence where I'm like I don't care for it. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a very good game to me. And then Ocarina of Time, which is, oh my God, Ocarina! Look at the sun go across it.
Exactly, and that's what makes it polarizing because it depends what kind of genre you're geared to before you even played it. If you love a game like Earthbound that's super quirky and has these memorable characters, that's a game for you. But if you're on the other spectrum and you prefer stuff like Zelda and more difficulty in terms of puzzles and stuff, may not be the game for you. So it's really like a wide divided game.
Now, like, I can give another good example of a fan base killing a game for me. Anything from BioWare.
Yes. Yes.
I love Mass Effect. I love Dragon Age. I love Knights of the Old Republic. Like, their games are great. But the problem is, if I start going on Tumblr or anything that, and even look up anything related to Mass Effect or Dragon Age, I don't hear anything about the gameplay. I don't see anything being specified to the characters even, except for one fact. Why can't I sleep with this character? Why can't I have sex with this? Why can't I have sex with Rex? Explain that to me, BioWare. Why can't I have sex with Rex?
Because Commander Shepard will be too fucking wrecked to play.
Did you want?
Yeah, especially if you read the bios and stuff. Yeah.
Did you want a bone Joker also?
Yeah, why can't I bone Seth Green? I mean, Joker.
To put some rationality though onto this sort of topic, personally, I don't care what a fandom hates or loves too much about anything at all, because this mindset of how people are on stuff goes well beyond just games. Like, obviously, like, games is very tied into internet, so that plays a lot. But think sports. I had family members try to make physical fights against me because I don't like sports. Like, some guy, like one of my distant cousins a few years ago, tried to say that this sport sucks or this team sucks or whatever. I said, I don't care. Your team sucks too. Like, I don't follow the sports. And they got wicked physically angry and tried to fight me. All right. So I think I'll
say I don't care about this one sport and walk away.
Yeah, exactly. So I think when it comes to fandoms, good or bad, if you're going to judge the content of something, do it after you've experienced it yourself. Don't hate something just because a lot of people love it. Don't hate something just because a lot of people also hate it. There has to be, an actual tangible reason.
Yeah.
There does. There has to be a tangible reason of why you hate this thing.
Luke.
And as I mentioned, I still play BioWare games because, well, they're BioWare. They're great games.
Yeah.
The guys that make it are amazing. But yeah, it's just I will not look up anything on the game aside from actual promotional stuff for the game, because if I do, I'll just get angry because I'm seeing all these posts about why I can't have sex with blank, and that just bugs me because I'm like, there's so much more to the game than boning your character or having your characters boned.
Yeah. It's an action-based action-adventure game.
What struck me kind of funny that what bothered you was who you could or could not have sex with. And yet, on the other spectrum, the ending for Mass Effect 3.
They fixed it. Bad EA.
Honestly,
they say fixed or whatever, but regardless of what did and did not happen, I enjoyed the game. I didn't even know there was a controversy because I bought the game right away, played it, loved it, whatever. I didn't know there was some sort of controversy with the game because I thought, oh, it's a great game, great ending, cool. On to the next series, Yeah. And you read about people freaking out that, it didn't end the way they were hoping to, but I mean, that storyline that they set up for themselves was so complex, I can't even imagine, what kind of ending would be, even in 20% majority of what people would like.
Well, this is what I've always figured, especially when it comes to endings and stuff with specific characters and everything. You can hate whatever happens, whatever. That's your prerogative. My thing is that I'm going to use Ubisoft for this example, and I believe I talked about this during the conversation with about Kotaku's Blacklist, but Ubisoft, back when they were releasing Unity, they had a problem with not having a female character available to play as. That, yeah, you remember that controversy. That was a horrible one.
All I can say, like, I've had enough. Like, games are an art form. Just
We'll
continue.
We'll get into that part some other time. I'm just going to finish this thought here.
Yeah, keep going.
The fact that they actually went out and backpedaled about it and explained their reason why as being that, oh, it's more animation, it's more work, it's a lot more work to do additional characters, when really they could have just done what Rockstar did when they ran into the same problem. Because GTA 5, immediately when GTA 5 came out, where's the female characters? Why are you playing as 3 guys and not having a girl? That's not the story that we're trying to do.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, when you buy a game, I always feel that it's very similar to when you buy a movie or when you buy a book. It's a story that you're consuming, but you did not create it, so there are restrictions on how it plays out. And it's not always going to work the way you want. Game of Thrones is probably the primary example for that.
It's life. But it's life. You get what you get.
Yeah, exactly. And people, at least the ones that make the biggest ruckus, feel entitled that they should have the most control on how everything plays out, and that's not how it should be. You got to take a step back and just enjoy it for what it is. If it wasn't entirely to your liking, well, get another game.
Because these people are spoiled.
Exactly. Pretty
much.
All right, and I'm going to call that it for the podcast here.
Okay.
I'm going to bed. I've had 10 hours of sleep combined since Monday.
So, as mentioned, don't forget to view our website at gameitall.com. Link down in the description. We also have our Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr link. We have our brand new reviews up on the site live right now for both movies mentioned and The Deadly Tower of Monsters from Atlas and Ace Teams.
Music is coming tomorrow.
The music, and that is Motor League's Holding Patterns.
Oh my god, it was so hard to write. I had...
we'll get into that next week because
it's amazing, but it's
next week, man. Next week.
I know.
I would like to give some thanks to when we shared a post asking to spread the news a bit about the site to try to get our numbers up. It just
it helped. It did help.
It definitely helped. So thanks to people who aided with that.
If you are part of the groups that we did ask to help spread the podcast around, definitely thank you. You guys are great. Everyone that likes and subscribes to us, we love your faces. That's Philip DeFranco's thing. I can't take that.
No, that is copyrighted.
Like $5 now, maybe more.
Probably a lot more.
Probably a lot more.
But yeah, like.
Also, go
awesome.
subscribe to him so that he doesn't sue me.
Yeah, because we don't have money. We're poor. But everything's going good. Everything's getting better.
Yeah, we are getting better. The 2.0 is in effect. We're moving forward with the site.
Yep.
Noobs play every Thursday, and as I said, we have 2 new noobs. Clint Dirty Gurney. I love that name. It's the only one of all of our nicknames that we have, our call signs, that actually rhymes. So you know what? That is great, and he is a dirty fighter in fucking Mortal Kombat. He button mashes, right? So this happened during Noobs Play, which is live right now, or not live. It's on the channel right now. He button mashes. So when he was button mashing, he hit pause. he did this at least 3 times before me and Metal Mike decided that, okay, enough's enough. You hit pause again, we will slap you live on camera. We've slapped him 5 or at least 3 times throughout the match.
Awesome.
So yeah, violence sells.
Well, next week for the shit show, I'll just start slapping you left and right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I can only imagine how much mashing he has to do because the start, select, or whatever equivalent they
I
are,
don't have a controller to like.
they're not near the rest of the buttons. You gotta go out of your way to hit them.
Here, we'll say this little.
I got it.
Okay,
There you go.
This is him.
Don't do that.
Well, yeah, but the button is right here, and you have the buttons here. You know.
Yeah, you
I
just.
don't know.
Do like any other human being. Put this part of your thumb right in the middle, and you could just rotate your thumb and hit all the buttons. This is something I learned
no
before
one
I was.
does that.
Or
Yeah, look.
just get a freaking fight stick, and you can go like this.
I
My-
probably have to do that just for him.
How did this? My thumb covers almost all the buttons. You don't need to mash like that.
So, anyways, for GameItAll.com at the GameItAll.com podcast, I'm Lucas Grimm.
Hey, what up, Pino25?
I'm Yanderes.
You guys have a great night, and thank you for watching.
And we are out.